Hey, Gear Geeks! Let me put this stuff down. I'm a one-take pony. It's my cell phone, me, and whatever I come up with. So, I'm doing my number 2 video on my camper. It's right there. And if you just were able to stomach everything I did, you will see that I played through the Kemper and played through a PA, and I had feedback. You heard it. Da-da-da, da-da-da, ah! Noise. You know, I had this thing for 2 months now. It has a lot of quirks. It has a lot of features. It's crazy. It's a rabbit hole. Easiest way to play this thing? You know, let me get the video closer so you can see. That's my favorite tune. Really, it all comes down to this switch right here. Right now it's in tuner mode. I'll talk about its tuner mode in a little while. After tuner mode, it's browser mode. The easiest way to play this Kemper is turn the puppy on, put a pair of headphones in, put it in browser mode, and go to town, and you'll have fun. You'll enjoy yourself until you take that next step from the headphones to what? After the headphones, you know, the easiest way to, and you're going, why is he telling me this? Because, you know, I just played through the PA, and I have wedgies on the ground, and I use them as like my speakers. Instead of like the Killer Morgan or the Vox or something like that, I'm literally going through PA speakers. Let's see some PA speakers. See the PA PV right there. And there's another one. There's actually two there, and there's another one there. And there's some wedgies on the ground. And I use those wedgies kind of as just my guitar cabinet amp, because it's gotten to the point where it's easier that way. And let me God, this is a rabbit hole. Easiest way to play the Kemper, headphones, put it in the browser mode, good to go. You can browse through all kinds of things. And then you're like, well, what's next? Well, every time you switch to switch from anywhere, from the tuner to the browser, you can start looking at all the killer stuff that's in there. It's just pages and pages of killer, and all in their name. I mean, there's so many that's indexed. I got like 1,700 in here or something like that of different things. The Ingle is one of my favorites, but you can see off here to the right, it's probably kind of hard to see, but all this information is on my computer laptop. That as I kept switching this darn knob, I realized I need more stuff, and it became more of a headache. I'm 2.5 months into this. I've been painting my house, the coronavirus thing. I've had a lot of other things going on in my life, so I haven't really been able to do too much like every day with this thing. But since I've had it, I'll tell you, I haven't really fired up any of my other. I fired up my orange amp. I fired up this orange amp. Tick, 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 tick. It is the which one is it? It's the Thorpe number 4. Oh gosh, I forgot. Isn't that terrible? Anyways, it's got real high gain, and I wanted to hear what it sounded like through a cabinet, vintage 30, and then I went and played it on this thing, through a copy that they have already had, not one I did, and it was incredible. So, truthfully, I haven't fired up anything other than a combo amp, couple combo amps. 3 combo amps in 2.5 months. and that one orange, just to compare. This thing's insane. It's insane when you start. Like, I went through about 20 hours of video online. You know, YouTube. There's all kinds of killer sounds and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too involved in this. This is just my what has got me going on in my life. How complex or non complex. Like I said, if you put the headphones in and just jam it to the browser and go through this stuff, you're awesome. When you get from browser and you want to go to performance or to profile or to start having this stuff in your a computer, everything starts getting crazy. I got this thing. The tuner doesn't tune very well. It wasn't in tune. The tuner wasn't tuning correctly. God. Until I updated on my laptop, until I got the laptop. So let me just say to this. I like the fact that the profiler has a button for everything. I enjoy a button for everything. I do not like one button that does 100 different things. I rather have 100 buttons that do 100 different things. I've watched a video of the guy who, the Kemper gentleman from Germany, and he's a really cool dude, really cares about players, doesn't keep charging you. A lot of the stuff is free. Updates are free. Who does updates for free? Come on, look at your computer stuff. Nobody does updates for free. When you're buying packs of other people's downloads, you're buying individuals or people, companies that are coming up with killer stuff. Go online, you can watch them record the stuff, and you're blown away at the quality you're getting. Anyway, so again, it's really cool. The company's cool. The layout's really awesome in this thing. It does get kind of expensive. My tuner, like the quirk was the tuner didn't tune in tune correctly. I was using my Boss foot pedal until I got the computer and downloaded the Rig Manager from their company, which is a software thing that allows you to do all kinds of stuff. I bought a foot switch, which you seen me play earlier, and the foot switch is really cool. It just plugs right in. But you know, again, that is when you start turning this knob from, because the browser mode won't play the foot pedal. You got to go in performance, and then you got to God. Then you have to do the all the different savings of the profiles, and it's set up your foot pedal to what you want it to be. There is some stuff that Kemper puts in there just so you have an idea of right off the bat. Luckily, you plug that foot pedal in for $500 foot pedal, and it does do some stuff, and you can get into performance mode, and you can start having some fun with the performances, like you just seen me do. It does a lot. And then I went and got a foot pedal. Now Kemper doesn't do the foot pedal. They source it out to a company called Mission. It's that green one with an M right there. It looks like the Kemper stuff. And it was $150. You could put 4 pedals onto your. You could put 4 individual foot pedals into your pedal thing over here. I only need one. So far, I've been able to use that 1 foot pedal and do the wah with it. Do the distortion, up the distortion. You see me play clean, all of a sudden I hit that pedal and it gave me distortion. It's whatever I want to plug into it for whatever moment I want to do. That's awesome, right? Until you start programming and then your world starts expanding. You could spend all night. I'm glad I don't do drugs. Gotta be like doing crack and staying up all night trying to figure out what I want to do with that foot pedal. Literally, as you inch it any way you want to go forward or back, toe or heel, it will do anything you want. So it could be a chorus, and the chorus goes out into a flanger as the pedal is moving. Yeah. It could be inverted, reverted, upside down. It does all kinds of stuff. The lights do all kinds of stuff. It is insane. It is really fun. Okay, let me get into some more of the stuff here. I bought that foot pedal, the Mission one, and I plugged it in, and then I went to go play my amp one day, and there was no sound. Well, the reason why is because unless you program that foot pedal, the volume-looking foot pedal, nothing works. So it's like one of those things, right? Where you gotta, like, you can't just start plugging things in because it interrupted the circuit and it wasn't programmed. Oh my God. Again, overall, I haven't watched this video, so I don't know how the guitar sounded with the drums and the keyboard that I had going on, just so you have an idea. It's all playing through the PA. It really sounds like a polished, recorded version of me, no matter how bad I play. But that's what it sounds like as it plays back through the speakers. Do I miss playing through all my speaker cabinets? I do have some speaker cabinets, like that Bogner's really cool. And these actually go back double. There's double stacks of these cabinets, and I have them on the other side over here as well. That dime down there is a really cool cabinet. But, oh, but do I miss it? Well, I have a bunch of cabinets all around me. I got 360 PA, 360-degree PA system, and it really rocks and it really hits your heart almost, just as well, if not better, than some of my guitar cabinets. Kemper is coming up with, and you can go into here and use Emulate guitar cabinets. I can also go out of this, and this is where things get, through this whole process, I'll tell you one major thing that I kept focusing on. Do I really need this? Because once I started getting complicated and start going, I bought the one with the amplifier, but if you don't have the one with the amplifier, now you're amplifying it with another amp. Right? Now you're coloring whatever this picture was that it took, and you're coloring with another amp sound. Does that really screw it up now? It does. It colors it. Or do you really like the tone? But that's great for that one tone. Now how about the 17 other 100 that are in there? How's it going to affect those? So that's why the pure nature of this thing, this Kemper, ends up being what you want if you're... That's what I'm saying. I went back and forth many a times. So at first I was just playing in the browser mode, and I had this thing plugged in because it has a way to plug it in to your anything, actually. But I was plugging it into one of my guitar speaker cabinets. And then going out. It has a out for... It has a way to take off the cabinet emulator that's going through the PA. So I had XLRs going to my PA, and then I had a 1/4 inch going into my speaker cabinet, and then I was able to, so I went into the God, I don't know why I can't find it right now, into the speaker emulation, which I can't find right now for some stupid reason. And I would take off the emulator, which uses different words. So when you watch the video, they say, yeah, the emulator. I'm trying to get to the thing, but the output doesn't say emulator. It says pure cabinet. And you take the pure cabinet off. Well, the pure cabinet takes off the emulator, so when you go out speaker cabinet to a guitar cabinet, you're hearing whatever you're listening to, whatever, let's say it's a Marshall that you have in here, and it's going through your speaker cabinet. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that sound's going to be different than your PA sound. That sound's going to be different than your PA sound. Because the PA sounds, the cabinet emulator, what this thing first took a picture of whoever did the picture of the sound when they initially made it and recorded it, and then you have what you're doing through whatever cabinet you happen to like, which might sound awesome. And then till you browse to something else and go, oh, all of a sudden it doesn't sound as good. What happened? Well, that's one of the things that happens. You're starting to fight yourself. If you go buy a separate amp, have a separate cabinet, you're not going through the PA, it becomes a whole... Now, do you really need... That's when I said, well, what am I doing? I can just go a cabinet, a regular guitar head into a cabinet, chord my guitar, I'm good to go. So, but as I just showed you, I went through this foot pedal earlier, like this video is going long, and I went through that foot pedal and I showed you all kinds of I went through all kinds of cool programs where I was playing a synthesizer, guitar synthesizers that you would normally have to do something to your guitar to get it to sound like that. I went into a wah with the pedal. I went into distortion with the pedal. So I showed that this thing could do some various stuff. And I'll tell you, I can really get into programming, and you could do some really super cool things, and it really sounds really good. If you are a touring musician or somebody who just wants to have good sound, this really is the way to go. They are going to have Kemper a cabinet for them. They're going to build a cabinet for themselves, and it's going to be a neutral cabinet. And I just got a update through my software, through the computer software. Can you see if the computer's on here? So you can see it. There's my computer. So I had to get a laptop because my other laptop didn't work. And then I put it way over here, so I bought a $70 cable so I can go all the way across the studio, all the way into the back of the Kemper, and not have to be on my foot, my pedal rig. But if you look at this computer thing, it's really cool because it shows you everything broken down, all the different stuff, and it shows you like where I'm at, what kind of guitar was recorded on it, and elsewhere. One of the things, and the kind of cabinet that was recorded, and the kind of guitar that was, the kind of, obviously the amplifier. So a Marshall going through a certain vintage 30 speakers, going through whatever. So what Kemper's going to do is going to have another cabinet that they're going to have neutral, and you'll go in here and just start changing any kind of cabinets. I think there's 17 or 21 cabinets that they have of all kinds of pictures of cabinets that sound really awesome. The sound quality is awesome. But that's going to be different than what's going out of your emulator through the XLRs through the PA. So to really be pure, the easiest way to play this thing is through the headphones, in browser mode, headphones. Next step up is getting a PA system through the browser. Next step up is getting some foot pedals, and then you got to be in performance mode so you can get this little. It's all about this switch. The more you go down this switch, the more the rabbit hole is. All these things do all kinds of cool things. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible and let you know with the 2.5. I have not made it to Profiler in the 2.5 months I've had this thing. That's where I can actually copy some of my guitar amplifiers into this because I'm really itching to play my PV 3120 head into my dime cabinet. Really sounds awesome. And I like to put it into my Kemper. That way I don't have to fire up my guitar stuff all the time. This does take to turn on, about as long as it takes to turn on a regular guitar head to really warm up a 110, 120 watt head. It's got a lot of processing to go through. So it can be one of the easiest things that you have, or it could be one of the most complex things depending on how far down the rabbit hole you want to go. Now, as far as cost, they got these foot pedal ones that are like my Kemper, my full-on Kemper, but in a foot pedal thing, in a bigger foot pedal. Now, if you can hook that up to the computer, and you're just, you do a lot of stuff where you don't want to, you're not 54 years old and you don't like to do desk stuff. I like to have things up high. Look at my foot pedals on a rolling rig. It's up high. I like to have things kind of at hand's reach instead of having to bend over. So having everything that's in that little foot pedal and these pedals, I can program on the computer. Shabam. Where is it at? I can program on the computer and not have to play on the ground or up here on my amp rack. So the $1,700 Kemper on the ground wasn't for me, plus tax, $1,900. They also have one for like $1,900 that doesn't have the amplifier. So it's this one without the amplifier. But again, unless you go by the solid state with the exact specs that Kemper did in this amplifier, you're not going to get the exact picture, and I kind of wanted to get a better picture of what it had. So this one wasn't the $1,900 one. This was the $2,200 one because it has an amp built in. Ends up being $2,500. And then the foot pedal was $500 in tax, and the other pedal was $150 from Mission. And like I said, you could put 4 of those on there and just do all kinds of crazy stuff. It has pitch shift. It does anything you could do. You could program into that pedal, and it gets crazy. And then I had to get computer cables, and I actually had to get a new computer. I was able to get a cheap one for like $800 because it doesn't do recording. And then I had to get some cables. This whole thing, I'm right around $4,500. So if this isn't like something that you're going to use all the time, as I'm just killing myself here, if it's not something that you're going to use all the time, and I have been using it a lot, I don't see myself getting rid of. I had a friend after me tell me, well, when you get rid of your amplifier heads, let me know and I'll buy them from you. No, 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 that's not the deal. I'm trying to just enjoy my guitar playing, and this Kemper is really cool. I was going to buy an Ingle head, and I'm not going to anymore. I like the programs that are in this thing. I was going to buy the EVH3, the 50 watt head. I'm not going to buy that one either. This thing just sounds so cool. One of the quirks are that I didn't go over the first video. This is my second video of this. Was I find I was using in that little introduction thing I did when I was playing with the Kemper amplifier. What you heard when playing through was that Charvel right there. It's like a purple blue Charvel. It's got very passive JB pickups. I find if you, and there's a videos out there, there are guys that are a lot better than me. I think it's like Gear Monkey or something like that. They do all these Kemper things that I really like. But the guy was saying that you really don't have to care about the guitar pickups. Where is it at? This guitar pickups. Oh, I'm not seeing it in here. But anyway, so it usually shows a guitar pickup if I page through. And those guitar pickups, let's say I'm playing through a Fender. Now, this is going to be stupid for you guys out there that know better. If I'm playing a Fender clean tone and I'm playing a guitar that has EMG pickups, obviously I'm corrupting the tone of the Fender through the Kemper using, let's say, EMG pickups, which you can see a couple of guitars up there with EMGs. My 7 and my 8. They have EMG pickups, and then the white Charvel up there, that's the Jakey Lee thing, it has distortion pickups. So those pickups color right off the bat the tone of what I'm doing. So again, with this Kemper, I find you don't want to play with the tone of the Kemper. You want to, I find. So there's videos, people saying, oh, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, again, when I'm playing the Fender through some pickups that are not kind of Fenders, you can hear it, obviously, right? And vice versa. So if I'm going to play through an Ingle type of head with my Kemper, I don't want to play through a Telecaster pickups because it's not going to... You already heard me play in the beginning where I actually got feedback. And I can control... I'm from the 80s where I played in these I didn't play any hair bands, but I played in these bands where we're heavy. And so I've always needed to be heavy. And this thing seems to work. What's not working as long as this video's going. I'm sorry about this. I did hit all the points I wanted to. You got to kind of watch out what kind of guitar you're playing through your Kemper. I really like feedback. Like I said, I'm from the 80s where I played in feedback and wow, and whammy bars were coming out, doing their thing with all the distortion and gain like never before. So that's it. This is my Kemper, and that's the video number 2 of my second video of me going through the Kemper. All right, I'll do another one and hopefully not so rambling on. You guys take care and ramble on.